Hi there. This is show 193. Today is a serious show. There'll be no fooling around. You got that? Today we have our special guest is Christine Lass, who's the town manager of Westford. Let's give her a hand. Come on, come on, come on. Yes. All right, let's not overdo it. And we're going to discuss the town budget and the 2.5 override, which is for 3 years, not just one. Triple the pleasure, isn't it?
Well, that has not been discussed or decided upon yet, so there's some options.
All right, cut it out. I just want to say we moved here in March '76, and so it's 48 years almost. Give me your ass there, 48 years already, and the changes in town have been unbelievable, and a lot of them are not for the best. You know. I said it's serious, so knock it off. So I want to speak for they have a new budget you're trying to come up with, right?
I have two budgets that I have presented.
One with 2.5 override and one without.
Correct.
And it's also talk about a 2.5 override.
Correct.
Yeah. You know how many overrides there have been already?
In Westford?
Yeah.
I know there's been several, but not many.
Well, so keep it up, baby. Come on, let's get 10 in a row. No, I'd like to speak for the people who are on a fixed income, people who work full-time but hardly make any money, and then the others who have to work more than one job just to eke out a living. And first of all, the budget has to be, first of all, with the override, there should be flyers that go out mailed to every family in Westford, because I've been speaking to people and they said, what? They didn't even know about it. I found out by accident. Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't even know about it. I mean, the people who want it know about it, okay?
Sit down.
Quiet down.
So there will be mailers, but we will not be mailing them until after the select board decides what the override will be structured on. So every resident in town will be getting a mailer around March 8th.
Okay.
That is the town meeting warrant, which will have both budgets in that, and they'll get some more information. I'm also hearing that there is an override committee forming, so I cannot be part of that because I'm the town manager, but they will be putting out mailers.
There's a group of 30. It's unbelievable.
I don't know how many there are.
Well, no. There's a specific group of 30.
Okay.
And I don't know who the heck they had for, for vote yes, and they wanted an override, right?
I believe that is their charge, yes.
Yeah. So, okay, I told you to lay down. You lay down, too. So I told you, so I invited the co-chairman, right, to be on the show.
Okay.
Do you think I heard from him?
I'm not sure.
No, of course not. Why come out in the open, like you have, to discuss something?
Well, they might not have all the information ready that they want to present. I don't want to speak for them or not.
No, don't. But I mean, they want a 2.5 override, okay? And I think that personally, the budget should be cut down as far as you can. And if you have to, you include layoffs. Mm-hmm. There's got to be a lot of fat sitting around. Not you.
There's really not that much. We have provided a budget that is a cut budget that has layoffs for both the town and school side. So if people would like to vote for that budget, they can. They can get a lot of information on our town website of what that means. And if people want to keep the service levels that we have now and the staff levels we have now, then there's that opportunity for them to vote as well.
Is there on that now?
If you get to say to the lady that the inflation, there is inflation in this country, not only in Westford, all over the country.
Yes.
That's got to be worked on. And eventually the next administration, they will do the best that they can to make sure they can cut the inflation.
Excuse me, how did we get...
You can't blame the lady because...
Who's blaming them? Am I blaming you?
I don't think so.
Be gentle to the lady.
Hey, will you be...
Be gentle to the lady because she's doing her job. The question is she can't control the inflation. That's why we have a problem.
I got a problem with you right now. How did we get to the presidential election from that? Let's go sit over there. All right, where were we? Oh. What gets me is First of all, the median income, which is 50% above that, and 50% in 2022 in Westwood was 175. You know when the last time I had an income of that? When I was dreaming. All right? And some of these houses here are unbelievable. You know, 10-room house, room for the pony, and all that stuff. And these are the people. They have kids in school, for a lot of them, but they vote for a 2.5. I mean, see, for the fixed income and the people that I mentioned before, that's crazy. They have they have money they can put aside for a 2.5 override. We don't have the money to put aside, and we get clobbered. All right, there should be some way to let this group out of it, not to get clobbered, especially with the inflation rates. I mean, if you make a lot of money, even with inflation, you have enough to put aside. What am I putting aside? You take it out of your savings, you're on a fixed income. It's ridiculous.
Sure.
And,
there's certainly some opportunities that seniors or veterans or those that are on an income, they can come talk to the assessor's office, and there's actually some exemptions that are qualified.
What is a CPA exemption?
There's more than just a CPA exemption. There's also other tax exemptions that I can't tell you if you qualify, but if you talk to the assessor or you talk to the social worker at the COA, the Cameron Senior Center, they can help and let residents know if they qualify or not qualify for those exemptions.
There's an assessor in town there in the office who can tell you? Okay.
Yes.
Is that on the left or right when you go in?
So if you go down the hall, the main hallway, it is on the right-hand side.
That's where you pay the bill.
That's the treasurer's office. If you go past the treasurer's office, the assessor's office.
Oh, there's, and I got the map. Look at that. No. Now, when they talk about the school department, as far as I'm concerned, see, I taught at college, but as far as I'm concerned, they have an insatiable appetite for money. You can't keep feeding it in. It's ridiculous. And all right, there's got to be a lot of. I mean, they have what principal and assistant principal. I think they have deans. I think over at the
academy.
Yeah. Huh? They never had it when I went to school like that. You had the principal and the assistant principal, secretary, which are now administrative assistant. That was it. Where did this all come from? And they talk about class size. Yeah, we don't want the class size to go up. Okay. I taught lecture halls of people. Okay. And then they bring up comparing teacher salaries here. The teacher salaries in Wellesley and Newton. By the way, they had that stupid strike, I must say. I can't stand teachers going on strike. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can't keep pumping them. But those two towns are so affluent, it's unbelievable.
Correct.
You can't compare the two, but they do.
The state is comparing them. It's not Westford saying that we compare to Wellesley or Newton. It is the state telling Westford that those are your comparable districts. So Westford does not have control over that, which is unfortunate.
How are you comparing us to them? It's ridiculous. They got must blow their nose with 20s or something. And another thing, these people who come in and vote, you know, these big houses, and they come in and vote. They have kids, jack up to 2.5 there. They vote for it. They raise the taxes, and then they move out, and we're left holding the bag. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case if they move out or if they stay.
Well, some of them do.
Maybe some do.
But you just can't keep asking. Not you. The town cannot keep asking for more and more money. Where the heck are you going to get it from? You're going to wind up driving people out of town. Not the ones with money, but the ones who don't have the money.
I understand that concern.
Yeah. And what are you going to be left with? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't either. Well, we're equal. So, no, but I'm just, quiet a moment, please.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. 1 second.
Second. Yeah. You can't keep doing that, is what I'm saying. All right?
So the last time the town had an override was in 2017, and that was specifically for teacher salaries. Now we're in 2024.
Yeah.
So as you said, we're facing extreme inflationary pressures.
But we face it even more than somebody with a lot of bucks.
I think everyone is facing the inflationary pressures.
Oh, yeah,
perhaps it does vary. Not everybody's in the same boat, right? Some people feel it way more than others, but we're all paying more at the grocery store. We're all paying more at the gas tanks. We're all paying more for our electric bills.
You get $100 out, and you go to even market basket, like, excuse me? And then you get some gas. Excuse me?
Yep.
I will wind up with $20 after a while. I have $100.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't buy any garbage either. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
what is your input?
If you let me speak, sir.
Oh, God.
The question is, doesn't mean that town will do what those 30 individuals wanted to do. The question is, when you have a town meeting, everybody should go, and then they might ask the people that there, maybe 1,000 people, okay, and most of the majority might say they might feel the same way you are, and they say we just can't afford any extra money to pay to the town because there's a lot of people that can't afford it. But the question, you have to be there and be counted.
Well, that's the problem.
That's what you have to do.
But that's the problem. That doesn't happen.
Well,
It goes it's overloaded the other way. It's like stacking it.
I don't know how the town meeting will go this year. So we have
Well, it'll be.
appropriate
They put them in a
space.
different direction.
Is that the 23rd?
It's March
of March?
23rd at 9 a.m. at Westford Academy is the town
Will
meeting.
there be breakfast served?
There may be donuts and pastries for sale
Oh,
from
sure.
the students.
Sure.
Buy you out.
Pre-diabetic. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
well,
Thank you.
hopefully
Take a
there'll be
whole-
some healthy
Take a whole
options, too.
dozen, will you?
Hopefully there'll be some healthy options too.
But the young lady here, she's doing her job.
I get-
The question is, the people is going to make the decision.
I
Remember
understand that. I understand. But turn it off. I'll
Yes.
go answer it. It may be important.
Yes,
Could be a doctor calling.
that's okay.
Psychiatrist. Knock it off. Terrible. Supposed to be serious today. Hey, knock it off, will you? All right, we have 13:27 left to go. What? You had some slides or something?
I just have some talking points. I want to let you know and the public know that the select board and our finance team on the town side have put together a website with a lot of information regarding the budget, what the no override budget looks like, what the cuts will have to be associated with that, the services and the positions cut on
When
both
you
the
say
town and school
services,
side.
what services are doing? But well, first of all, I am not in favor of having cuts at the fire department or the police department. I had to use the fire department.
It's an emergency.
Yeah.
2 in the morning on Saturday morning. I fell forward into the bathtub.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Where were you?
I don't know. I didn't get the call.
Damn.
The
So,
fire department got the call
we
and
got
they
to
took care
wind
of
up
it.
calling 911. You know, Miss 100 pounds there couldn't pull me out.
I understand.
I couldn't get out.
You
But
should have called me.
get back to sleep. So, I mean, I'm against any cuts there. All right? So go
I
right
understand.
ahead.
Yeah, so there are cuts on teachers, there's cuts on police and fire, there's cuts to our sustainability program, there's reduced hours at the library if there's no override. So there's some serious things that we had to consider related to those
That
budgetary
sustainability
pressures.
thing is driven by EPA, right?
No, it's not driven by EPA. The town has put together a climate action roadmap in which they would like to get to a net zero by 2050.
Don't hold your breath on this.
And we have certain goals that we're trying to meet to make our buildings more energy efficient and sustainable, make our vehicle fleet more energy sustainable, and also just educate the public on what they can do.
That means
for their own
electric
homes.
vehicles, right?
It could. It could
Right.
mean insulating your home differently.
Oh, no,
getting
I
new
already went
windows.
through that.
Good.
But you already mentioned that he doesn't want to touch the police and the
Right,
fire department.
right.
Because those people are angels. They're risking their life every day.
Absolutely.
You
No,
know what I
and
mean? And we need them. If they need like a $10 something extra, they deserve it.
Right.
What it means, other thing, you know what I mean? You can control it for later. You know,
and I
if
can
it-
tell you that the town has such lean staffing right now
Yeah.
that the next thing to cut
Yeah.
are public safety.
You don't want to do that.
And it's very detrimental, and that's why we're trying to get the word out.
public safety?
I don't have anywhere else to cut.
See?
I don't. I need a treasurer collector to collect
Yeah,
the
how
bills.
about right there? You want to put a cut?
No, I don't.
He doesn't
I
want
don't.
any cut. The only thing, what he means, to increase the taxes for something else.
Yep.
That maybe they can wait for a while.
Sure.
Because the inflation is so high, but next year, counting November, is going to be different.
Thank you, the president.
I don't know how it's going to be in November. We can only forecast where we are now.
Knock out for the presidential election. Are you running?
I'm telling you one thing.
I'm gonna
I
move over here.
guarantee.
You can if you want.
Okay,
Don't
I-
fall.
I've had enough of this.
Okay.
Am I going to get killed here?
The next,
Well, your
the
cord
next
might go, so be
administration
careful
careful
like
with the
will be
cord.
different.
Be careful.
What?
Watch your mic. Your mic's
All right,
gonna
I'll
pull.
go
so.
back again.
No,
Right.
yeah.
No, I can tell you that we're
Move back.
locked in.
I don't bite.
That's okay. We're locked into certain contracts right now that are, of course, inflationary pressures
Right,
there.
right.
But we're also looking at some ways of how we can pull in more revenue as a
Yeah,
town.
yeah.
There's the discussion about the multifamily housing through the MBTA
Yeah.
program, which we're doing a lot of outreach right now
Right.
to bring some growth into the town. People will come live here, they'll
Right.
work here, they will use our services, they'll dine here, meals tax, excise tax, those types of things.
right.
And we're also looking at other types of revenue that we might be able to bring in, but it's a slow process
It's a
Why
slow.
are the businesses taxed at the same rate as the residential?
because that has been the choice of the select board. And actually, it doesn't really make sense to tax the commercial more
But they're
because
not
we only
gonna-
have 10% commercial
All right,
in
but
town,
they're
so
not
it
going
doesn't
to
really
move
make
out of
sense.
town. You could see the Market Basket moving out.
I can't see Market Basket move out, but I can tell you that Red Hat is moving out in a year and a half.
Where are they going?
They're consolidating to smaller buildings.
Yeah, well, that's.
Because IBM bought.
Right. IBM bought them, and they have a lot of people working at home now
Right.
that
Why
they
don't
don't
you-
need the
why don't you
office.
tell
And
me that?
And I know people that work for IBM and they're not working in the office, they're working home.
Right, right.
So there is something so they can save money.
I understand that. Excuse me. Could you know the name of that website you were talking about?
I do, yeah. Would you like me to write it down for
Certainly.
you?
We'll put on a
Yeah.
commercial at the moment.
And I can send you some slides.
Ooh.
She's a
You
nice
have my
lady.
email.
I
She's a
do.
nice lady. She
Will you
tried to
stop
help
hitting me?
She's
Did
trying
I
to
say
help
she wasn't?
No, you
There
don't
you
say
go.
nothing.
I don't say anything about
Just
it.
don't close your.
Isn't she
close your mouth
lovely?
a little bit.
Isn't she? Oh, sorry.
There's singing on the show too, huh?
Thank you. Yeah. Do I have to do slash there?
Nope, just go to westfordma.gov, and then the first line you'll get to is the budget line. So I'll send you the link after the show.
Thank you very much.
You're
What a nice
welcome.
lady. Thank you.
Send cash too, because
I can't do that, but I would do my
try
best
that.
if I
Put it
could.
on a future.
Yeah.
All right.
He
so-
means well. I mean.
Will you stop it? What else do you want to talk about? Dogs
Is there
sleeping.
anything else that town-wise, other than budget, you wanted to talk about today?
Yeah, I don't. I think the highway department. Ooh, they could do a better job of patching up the roads
Okay.
because they're not good,
I noticed it.
and they used to be better.
Okay.
And
We've been quite short-staffed, to be honest.
why is that?
There's been a lot of turnover. People are leaving to go to the state. The state's actually paying more than the town is for positions. And then just a lot of people don't want to get into that labor type of position anymore, which is unfortunate, but we have a lot of needs for it.
Yeah, but we need people like that.
We do. We
It's
do.
not the last snow, but the one before that. It wasn't that much. They got out there late.
That was kind of a freak storm, and I know you know weather, but we didn't anticipate it to snow so much that day. We thought it was going to be a light dusting and then turn to rain, and it was 2 inches of snow before we knew it on the roads. And we couldn't pre-treat because the roads were wet
Yeah,
in advance, so that was unfortunate.
I found that quite exciting.
Yes. Yes, me
But
too.
eventually it might happen again, so they have to be ready.
They're ready. Yep. Yep.
Thank God for that. I don't want him not that happened to him because he's going to say to me, "What's the matter? What do you mean? Don't you want to help me? Don't you want to make sure the town puts sand on the road
They don't
so I
put
can
sand.
drive?"
They put this pre-treatment.
There's brine treatment for
Yeah,
pre-treatment.
help
yeah.
melt it right when it comes
To
down.
help melt it. Yep. Yep. Yep.
If you pay attention.
Yes, sir.
All right. So is there something else you like? Do we have 6 minutes, 31 seconds to go?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think in terms of town meeting coming up, there's a lot more things on the warrant in addition to the budget. So there'll be a no override budget and an override
Now,
budget
it's
on the warrant.
legible when it comes out. You don't need a degree in being a lawyer, right?
We're trying to make it as user-friendly as possible.
Uh-oh.
So hopefully that means legible in your business.
What the heck does that mean?
We're also going to be voting on the multifamily housing, the MBTA housing. That will be on the town
What is that,
meeting
something
warrant.
new?
It is something new.
Where are they coming from?
The state has required that any municipality who has an MBTA station or is adjacent to that, so we're adjacent
Yeah, we're
to Acton
adjacent
and Littleton,
Littleton, yeah.
that we are mandated to put in zoning to allow for multifamily housing in certain districts. So there's a lot of outreach right now related to that. The other thing I want to bring up outside of town meeting is we're engaging in updating our town's website. So right now there's a survey to take for residents who want to provide us input of how to make our website better. And we welcome that throughout the month of February for people to provide feedback.
That's good.
And we're also engaging in our first ever townwide strategic plan that the public will really be getting involved in March through April to understand where as a town we want to put our resources to.
Right.
So we see we have budgetary challenges today. We think we know we're putting the resources towards the right thing, but we're going to really engage the public of, is your priority roadways? Are your priorities parks and open space? Are your priorities building economic development and housing?
When you say roadways, what do you mean?
Anything from, sidewalk construction, sidewalk reconstruction,
So
roadway
people can walk,
reconstruction, any sort of transportation in that way.
That's nice.
You can't walk on Depot unless you want to get killed.
You are correct.
It's a pretty quick road.
They have what's in football, that thing with a kick? All right, it's good.
Yes, yes.
They have the goalpost.
The goalposts for the field goals and the
We
extra point.
appreciate that you come. The question is, you can come again, so the people in Westford, they see you, they understand that you're not pushing anything, as the people as they make the decision.
The people will
Make
definitely
them
be making the
understand
decision.
that.
We're making a recommendation,
Yeah,
but it's ultimately the
Let
town
the
meeting
people
voters,
make the
and then there'll be a
decision.
vote
Then
after
if it
as well.
passes, right?
If it
the
passes.
2.5, is that for anything, or if the 2.5 passes?
So there will be a ballot question on May 7th on the 2.5 override,
May 7th.
May 7th.
What about?
and at town meeting on March 23rd.
Well, what about for some wild chance it
Yep.
gets voted down at the town meeting?
Yep.
Then there's no ballot question.
There will be a ballot question, and if it passes at the ballot, we'll be going back to a special town meeting. If it
Right.
does not pass
Yeah.
at the ballot,
They
it's
go
done.
to process different things.
Jeez, all right.
There's a lot of process.
But I will predict that at the town meeting it will pass.
Okay, we'll see how your prediction is. Are you coming to town meeting?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
And
Excellent.
you know what I hate about the town meeting?
I would like to know.
Blah blah blah. Not you. The people. I have something to say. When I was this, I did. Excuse me, you're not that anymore. So sit down. What is it with these people?
Well, we appreciate everybody spending their Saturday with us. We know it's a huge commitment.
Oh,
so.
yeah. And then we break at noontime or whatever. Then we come back in the afternoon with oxygen to keep going.
To keep awake.
Tell
Yeah.
them to shut up, for God's sake.
So if you speak at the town meeting, people will listen. The question is, I'm glad that you don't say, oh, it's because your position that you want to do. She only represents the town. She's
I
not
understand.
doing anything unless the people will decide.
Can I come over?
I just don't want you to get your cord ripped
What
off.
are
so-
you giving me for? I didn't. Did I say anything out of line?
No, everything's been fine.
Thank you. So, quiet. Why don't you go that way?
Woof.
Knock it off. Stop it. The dog will wake up. All right. So, you have any further questions? Don't bring up the election for president, please.
The question is I'm very, very nice that you came on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I would love to get the word out however we can.
We appreciate it because I feel better that he understand that you try to do the best that you can.
I have a lot of support and a lot of talent at the town hall helping out too.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was that for?
It's 2 minutes.
No. Hey, I told you to be serious. I'll have to ask you to leave if you don't. But please come back again if you feel it.
Sure, and if there's other topics you want to talk about, happy to talk about those other topics, but
Yeah,
it was good to focus on the
Get rid of
budget
the people
today.
from New Hampshire coming down Depot, please. Jeez.
Oh, well, if they're spending their money in Westford, we want them in
Oh,
town
no.
too,
You know
right?
what they're doing? They avoid the backup on
Route 3 and 495. Yeah, that's a tough intersection for sure.
You! How
Yes.
you doing?
Yep, coming right through. Absolutely.
I'm the guy who feeds the birds, by the way.
Okay.
Give
gonna
them
be a lot
peanuts.
of-
They love it.
There's going to
Peanuts.
be a lot of changes on the next year.
Will you stop it with him
I didn't say
already?
nothing. I only say different. It's going to be different.
Change is sometimes
next
good.
Year.
No, he's
Yeah.
talking about Trump.
No,
I don't know what he's talking about. so
I know what
this
he's
is-
talking
I'm
about.
talking about everything's going to change. The inflation is going to go down. Taxes going to go down. I'm telling you right now.
Will you stop it?
I did. Dear Lord,
Take
please
a nap,
forgive
will you,
him.
please? All right, so is there something else? Or
No, I'd just like to thank you all for having me today. just whoever is watching, come to our select board meetings, come to the finance committee meetings, come to town hall if you have questions, visit the website. We have a lot of information out there. It can be confusing if you don't do it on a day-to-day basis, so ask those questions.
Hey, if you go to the assessor's office, what do they do exactly to see what you're eligible for?
First of all, they'll see, what your demographic is. Do you meet a certain age bracket? Were you a veteran? Do you own a home? Do you rent a home? And then they'll ask you more questions to see if you qualify or not.
What's your blood type?
That is true.
Well, they won't ask you your health information.
How high
I promise
are you?
that. So.
Can you throw a curveball?
If somebody said something about you, Annie, would you be kind enough to send that the email, like you send it to me, so people will watch on the email that
What are you talking about?
this program right now.
It goes on the station.
Okay, what I'm saying is she should have one in case somebody will say, "Hey, you didn't do a good job." You say, "Would you be kind enough to watch the email that I received from this TV station?" It's a good thing to do.
Do you get the shows?
I can access all the shows, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good.
193. It's either out tomorrow or early next week.
Okay, I'll be happy to watch it.
It's going to be a big help on
And you
you.
look marvelous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Because some people will blame you for everything.
What are you
okay.
talking about? Oh,
That's
stop
Would
it.
you be kind enough to let me speak?
Mary, could he get him
I'm
on
only
again?
telling because a lot of people will think about her because.
Will you look at the clock? We're out.
Who cares about the clock? I don't need clock.
Hey, get the security, please.
Ed Sullivan is dead, but Cohen isn't. And when it comes to weather, Cohen's smart. As New York as you get, his money's on the Mets, which goes to show that Ed's a Joe who always bets his heart. You'll hear a slick review or two from Nicky. And Cantor Something Berg will sing some song. There's weather news and shtick, enough to make you sick. You'll be glad you came over.